and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to the study of biology. Biology is the study of life and living things, microorganisms, plants, and animals are dependent on one another and on the environment in which they live. Biology examines how organisms interact with each other and with their environment by looking at the function and structure of different forms of life. Biology draws on knowledge from chemistry and physics and then applies it to the study of living things. The scientists who study living organisms are called biologists. Through the work of biologists, people have been able to understand and appreciate the diversity of life on Earth. We will begin our study of biology by learning about a renowned Ethiopian biologist. His contributions have helped achieve advancements in healthcare and disease prevention. This is going to be an exciting class, students. I am ready to begin today's lesson if you are. Let us start the class with a brainstorming activity. Students, in groups of 2 or 3, name as many Ethiopian biologists as you can think of. Please write down your answers on a piece of paper. You may begin now.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. I hope you had enough time to write down a few biologists. You might have named Professor Tilahun Yilma. He is known for his work on HIV and AIDS vaccines. You might have also named Professor Yalemtsahai Mekonnen, who was the first female professor at Addis Ababa University. Perhaps you named Dr. Akiliu Lema, who is known for his work on bilharzias. You may have thought of a few other biologists that I have not mentioned. At the end of this lesson, please have teacher check your answers. Ethiopia is home to some very prominent biologists, as we saw in our first activity. Their work is known and important both nationally and internationally. Today, we will study the work and discoveries of one famous Ethiopian biologist, Dr. Akiliu Lema. Dr. Lema discovered an effective and cost-efficient way to control schistosomiasis, also known as bilharziasis. This is a common parasitic disease that affects 200 to 300 million people in Africa, South America, and Asia. It is caused by parasitic flatworms that spend part of their life in freshwater, snails, and part of their life in humans. People washing, working, or playing in shallow fresh water are at risk. Once the parasites are inside a person, they mature and produce eggs that are passed through the feces and urine. The parasites infect blood vessels, liver, kidneys, bladder, and other vital organs. The body sets up an immune reaction, and he or she can become weakened and ill for many years. Students, what do you think an immune reaction is? Take a minute to write down your definition of the term.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, students. I wonder what your definitions were. An immune reaction is a biological response that involves the production of antibodies as a reaction to the presence of foreign bodies in the body. Foreign bodies may be bacteria, poison, or a transplanted organ. Was your answer similar to this? Dr. Akiliu began his work on schistosomiasis by studying the freshwater snails that carry the parasite. While collecting samples in a common area, he observed women washing their clothes in water. He noticed that downstream from the women, there were more dead snails than elsewhere in the water. The women were using the soapberry endod to wash their clothes. Dr. Akiliu noticed that as the endod suds floated downstream, the snails that came in contact with the suds died. Dr. Akiliu collected a sample of living snails as well as a sample of endod suds. Not long after the suds were put into the container of snails, the snails died. This began years of work for Dr. Akiliu. His discovery was further investigated in a laboratory. Dr. Akiliu explained to fellow scientists that if endod berries were dried, crushed, and diluted in water, they would kill snails. This meant that if freshwater snails could be controlled, the spread of schistosomiasis could be greatly reduced. This was an important discovery because not only was it effective, but it was inexpensive. Local people were familiar with the endod berry, so they were already accustomed to using it. Also, the endod berry is environmentally friendly. It breaks down naturally within 2 days and does not contaminate the water. Dr. Akiliu worked for many years to promote his findings. He worked with other scientists to produce trials that were tested and proved to work. Before the water was treated, 50% of children 1 to 6 years old were infected with schistosomiasis. After his treatment, only 7% were infected. This is quite a drastic change, is it not? Dr. Akiliu's results were published in international science journals. His findings started to spread, and people throughout Africa and in other countries were convinced of his work and began using his treatment method. Dr. Akiliu's innovative work has been recognized for improving hygiene, cleaning water wells, and producing medicine that would positively affect the people of Ethiopia and the world. For our final activity, students, please write a short summary of Dr. Akiliu Lema's work and say why you think it is important. At the end of the lesson, present your summary to teacher and your classmates.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, everyone. I wish I could hear your summaries. I am sure they are very insightful. This brings us to the end of our lesson. Today was the first lesson in our biology course. We learned about Dr. Akiliu Lema and his important contributions to the study of biology. Until next time, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.